Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. I took about a week off. It felt good. But I'm back. I stacked the whole time. So we're going to catch up on the buys I did this last week. Stacking like crazy. Most of my stacks this last week were double stacks. So I'm still stacking like crazy. And I think our average buy price is still above 82,000. So we're going to keep stacking double stacks until we get back into single stack territories. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. You can see like the amount of satoshis we're getting for the purchases a lot. So compared to like when it was an all-time highs, right? So anyway, welcome. My name is Roman. I do a show just about buying Bitcoin, holding Bitcoin, and how that's the fastest way, the slowest way to get wealthy. I guess not slowest way to get wealthy. The safest, not safest. I guess you'd say it's pretty safe. Let's say the easiest way to get rich slow. And I don't mean slow like hundreds of years. I mean slow like 12 years, right? A couple cycles, maybe 3 cycles, 2 cycles even of Bitcoin, which is every 4 years. But anyway, let's get the show cracking. Let's get the show started and jump into our first segment of the show, which we like to call the SAT strength, the Bitcoin strength, Bitcoin strength, Bitcoin strength. The Bitcoin strength. Today the price of Bitcoin is, $82,537.16. You can buy one whole Bitcoin for that much money. Or you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, which is called a Satoshi. You can buy 1,211 Satoshis, 1,211 fractions of a Bitcoin for one single dollar. You can also buy 12 Satoshis for a penny. It's pretty good. Pretty good deal. So don't be intimidated by the price. When you see the price, you can buy it in fractions. You don't need to save up $82,000 to buy a Bitcoin. You don't save to buy Bitcoin, you save in Bitcoin. Okay? All right. That is the Bitcoin strength. There it is. Oh, my music stopped. What's going on over here? There we go. That is the Bitcoin strength. And 82,500. It's kind of been here. It's kind of been here for a while, you know. But we take advantage. The way we do here, the way we buy Bitcoin here on the show, we buy Bitcoin every day, Monday through Friday. We don't buy on weekends, but we do buy every Monday through Friday. We buy about $20 worth at least. But if the price of Bitcoin is below our average buy price for that year, we buy a double stack, which is $40. Okay. Let's get into why we buy Bitcoin though, right? Why are we buying Bitcoin? Yeah, I get it. You're buying Bitcoin, but why? Why, bro? Why? Okay, let's jump into that section. That's called why we stack. Why we stack? Why do we save in Bitcoin? Why do we buy Bitcoin? Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of a longer explanation. If you're new to the show, don't know what Bitcoin, why we should buy Bitcoin, you have about 5 minutes to listen to this. Listen to this. The money that we're saving in, the dollars that we're saving in, it's not a fixed supply, okay? The supply of that money, the amount of dollars that exists in the world continues to increase daily, right? And as the amount of dollars increase, the value those dollars represents becomes less and less. I'm gonna give you the pizza example. Just like if you take a pizza and that's cut into 8 slices. If you come and cut it again and you make 16 slices out of that same pizza, the question is, do you have more pizza? That's a question. If I have one pizza with 8 slices and I go and cut it again and I make 16 slices, did I make more pizza? That is the question. If you think we made more pizza, then you are not correct. You failed. Okay? And that is exactly what they do with the money. They take the money and they expand the money supply so that there appears to be more money, but each individual dollar is worth less and less, just like each slice of pizza is going to fill you up less and less because there's actually less pizza, there's actually less value, right? So how do you prevent that from happening to your savings, right? Let's say you're saving in pizza slices, right? Or saving in dollars. Okay. Remember, when the supply of dollars increases, it does not make your dollars more valuable. It makes your dollars less valuable. Just like when you take a pizza that's 8 slices, you slice it into 16 slices. Now that pizza is worth, now one slice of pizza is only about the size of a half of a slice of before, when it was 8 slices, right? So your money, your purchasing power gets diluted, right? So what do? Well, you want to save your money. You want to save your value in an asset class that is not being inflated like the dollar. Okay. Yeah, you can save it in a home, you can save it in stocks and bonds, but they can also grow their supply of stocks. They could also grow the supply of real estate, right? The only thing that we're for sure cannot exceed a certain fixed supply is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is capped at 21 million Bitcoins, and there will never be more than that. It's fixed. There cannot be more than that. So the only thing that can increase when you're holding Bitcoin is the value of what somebody's willing to pay for it. When the demand goes up, the price of your Bitcoin goes up. Okay, so we have a finite supply in Bitcoin versus a constantly expanding supply in the dollars. Okay, so if you save $100 in cash, right, with a rate of inflation of about, I don't know, we'll call it 8%. Okay, and in a year, your $100 is worth, like, I don't know, it could buy you about $92 worth of stuff, right? And then the next year after that, it loses another 8 to 10%, right, depending on the inflation rate. And then that $100 gradually just keeps losing purchasing power, even though it'll still look like $100 to you on your bank account, right? Since the prices of everything are going up, you will continue to lose purchasing power with that $100. That $100 will only buy you $92 worth of stuff in a year, or the next year after that, maybe only $86 worth of stuff, right? That same $100, even though it still shows $100 in your bank account, right? Well, with Bitcoin is the opposite. Since Bitcoin is a fixed supply, the only way to measure it, if you measure Bitcoin in terms of dollars, since the dollar is losing purchasing power over time, right? The Bitcoin is becoming more difficult to purchase with that weakening money. So you need more and more of that weak money to buy the same Bitcoin, the same amount of Bitcoin, the same amount of Satoshis, right? So just by holding the value of your savings in Bitcoin, you're getting ahead of the curve. You're beating inflation. And while everybody's losing purchasing power to inflation, you're actually gaining purchasing power against the dollar. As long as that value is being housed or stored in Bitcoin. That's what we say, save in Bitcoin. Okay. And to make a long story short, the quick and dirty, the elevator pitch is this. Why should I save in Bitcoin? Because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That's why. That's what we say in Bitcoin, straight up. Okay. All right. That's it. That is why we stack. Hope you enjoyed that segment. If you have any questions, do leave it in the chat. And if you have any questions after watching this replay, put it in the comments and I will respond to that in the following episode of the show. Okay. All right. Let's jump into the next topic of the show. Since we do not just talk about saving in Bitcoin, we actually do it. Let's jump into the stack recap. Stack recap. Like I said, we don't only buy Bitcoin, we actually save here. So we don't actually talk about saving in Bitcoin. We actually do it here every Monday through Friday. And in 2025, have I put in all the buys yet? 28. Yeah, cool. My purchases are up to date. So as you can see, last week I bought pretty much all double stacks. Boom, boom, boom. For 2025, we are down about 10% for this year. But I'm not even phased by it. We're going to continue to stack. Our stack from 2024 is still about 37.9% up since we started back in 2024. And our stack for the whole lifespan of the show is up about, we'll call it 60% since we started saving here live during the live streams on May 22nd, 2023. If you're tuning in, say hello. You gotta just be subscribed. You gotta be subscribed for about a minute for you to chat. Say hello in the chat if you're in here. Let me know I'm not just talking to myself. Anyway, So far, we've saved about 0.35116476 Bitcoin for the show. And that is the stack recap. Today, since the price of Bitcoin, again, is below our average buy price of $93,000, today we're going to do a double stack, which means we're going to buy $40 worth of Bitcoin live during this live stream in a couple minutes. So stand by for that. Any questions, put them in the chat. But that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of the show. We talk about Bitcoin. We show you guys the stack that we've done so far since May 22nd, 2023. And we prepare ourselves for our next purchase. Regardless of what the price of Bitcoin is doing, whether the price is up, down, or still going to the side, we continue to buy Bitcoin because we understand that it's the scarcest thing you can own. And there's nothing else worth holding because it's going to hold value and increase your purchasing power over time better than any asset class there is right now, with the least risk and of course with no third-party risk, which is pretty awesome. All right, so now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, $40 worth, there's only one thing left to do, guys. You know what it is? It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right, here we go. Going live. It's been a while. It's been a while since Monday, since it's Friday. We're going to jump into the Strike app today. Strike. I recently cleared out my stack on the Strike app. I'm gonna hit the buy button. I'll put in $40 worth of Bitcoin today on the show. I'm gonna hit the next button. I'm gonna cut the music, hit the drum roll, please. We're buying $40 worth of Bitcoin today, right now, live during the show. $40, hit confirm. Buying $40 worth of Bitcoin for the Stack Bitcoin show, and there it is. Official. Purchased $30 worth of Bitcoin. Sorry, $40 worth of Bitcoin today. And that yields us 47,949 Satoshis. It's pretty good. That's a good stack. It's a good haul. Let's update the spreadsheet with today's buy. Let's see. 2025. Today is the last day of April. Sorry, of March. Last day of March. The last day of March. And let's see, we got the price that we deserved today was $82,629.46 Bitcoin. We bought $40 worth, and that gave us 0.00047949. There it is. Whoa, did I mess that up? 47949. There it is. 47,949 Satoshis added to the stack today. Slow and steady. Making our way to our goal of one whole Bitcoin for the show. That puts us at $2,500 worth of value saved into Bitcoin, and our current savings have acquired us 2.7 million Satoshis, or you can also say 0.027 Bitcoin. The current value of that in today's dollars is $2,247. We're down about 10% for the year, but we're not in it for the year. We're in it for the long haul. Okay. In the beginning, it's going to seem bad, and you might be tempted to sell. But what you should be doing is continuing to buy, because, again, as we explained at the beginning of the show, there is no other scarcer thing you can own. Okay? All right, so we're going to update the spreadsheet for the whole lifespan of the show with this details. Right here. Yeah, here we go. Let's do... Oh, it's loud. Let's go to the bottom of the sheet. It's a lot of red. It's a lot of red. I get it. It's scary. We're closing out the month. Closing out the month with a $40 buy. And that brings our total for the show to 0.3514. Sorry, 0.3516445 Bitcoin. Right there, we're getting there. We're getting there slow and steady. Slow and steady, working our way to one whole Bitcoin. Dang, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So there it is. There it is. Up about 59% for the lifespan of the show. This is taking into account all the purchases we've done on the show. Look at that. Each one of these lines is an episode of the show. So yeah, there's some red right here. I get it. It's fine. Scary, but there's mostly green. Okay. So we're up quite a ways. Okay. The lowest purchase we've done on the show is a $25 purchase. That was like a triple stack or quadruple stack for at $25,151. Imagine, dang, dude. We're gonna be thinking, dang, I wish I could buy at $25,000. But back then we're like, oh, $25,000. We don't know if it's gonna go to like $14,000 or $8,000, right? People were freaking out, but I just kept buying. And today we're looking at what? Today we're looking at $82,000, and people are thinking like, well, it might go down to 70, dude. I don't know if I want to buy it. It might go down to 70, and they're gonna miss the boat, right? Because it might not go down to 70. If it does, who cares? Just buy some more, right? When you're using it as a way to save and continue to grow your wealth over time, you don't get as scared once you understand what it is. Right? Once you understand that if you're saving in Bitcoin, you don't intend on taking that stuff out for a long, long time, if even ever, because eventually all the services and mechanisms that are available to other asset classes like stocks and real estate and bonds, where you can use those things as leverage to take loans out, will come to Bitcoin as well. Okay, and when that time comes, you'll have as much Bitcoin as you could ever want to be able to take loans against it, do whatever it is you need to do, right? Where you don't have to actually sell your Bitcoin. You can just basically use it because it's going to continue to go up in value. It's pretty cool. Okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, please do leave a comment, hit that like button, all that good stuff. That's basically what we do here every Monday through Friday. So if you enjoy the show, you want to jump in here and hang out and learn about Bitcoin or maybe just watch me buy Bitcoin for the sake of seeing what the progress is, come in, tune in. You don't have to come in every day, but you come in every other day if you want, whatever is convenient for you. We're here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, the Stack Bitcoin Show. I'll see you here. Let's wrap this show up. Okay. We showed up after a week off of doing the show, but maybe like 2 weeks off of doing the show. But we continue to stack. The stack is alive and well. On our way to one whole Bitcoin here for the show. That is our goal. Once we hit a whole Bitcoin, we'll see what happens with the show. But for now, that is our goal. I plan to continue doing the show until we hit one Bitcoin, and then we would have documented from 0 Satoshis, from 0 Bitcoin, all the way to 1 Bitcoin. That'd be cool. Okay, that'll be the trajectory of this channel. Okay, hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, hit me with a like and share the content if you enjoy it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later.